When it comes to Carlito and how he's being booked as of late, I definitely do not enjoy this recent Carlito run that we're in with him because it's not the Carlito of old. Um, I got mixed feelings with him in Judgment Day because right now he's being presented like a goof, and he's definitely not being treated like the star that he was under Vince McMahon. And that's something I want to highlight here in this video is Vince McMahon booked Carlito a lot better. Carlito was actually a star under Vince. He's not much of a star now under Triple H. And if you're paying attention, you definitely see the difference in how Vince booked Carlito, back in the day versus Triple H and how he sees Carlito now. Carlito is basically the Judgment Day puppet, the goofball trying to fit into Judgment Day. They're not quite accepting of him yet. He's like the punching bag, the one that's going to take all the losses and all that. I mean, I'm not too crazy about that idea. And I don't know about y'all, but the fact that we don't have Carlito's old theme song, that iconic, I spit in the face of people who don't want to be cool, that theme song, I think it's an injustice that we get to no longer hear that theme song. I thought that song was very iconic back in the day. Okay, Carlito is definitely not the same he was about 15 years ago. And I'm someone that was a Carlito fan. His whole spiel with the spitting the apple in someone's face, his talk show, the Cabana, and if we look at Carlito as a wrestler, as a talent, he was always involved. He was treated pretty well. The dude won the United States Championship on his first night. Dude beat John Cena on his first night to become the US champion. He won the Intercontinental Championship, I believe. Was it Ric Flair or Shelton Benjamin? I'm not quite sure. But speaking of Ric Flair, he also fought Ric Flair. He feuded with Shawn Michaels, John Cena. He was in the ring with legends back in the day. Carlito was treated like a bigger deal when he was in his prime. Now he's like a laughing stock. He's not who he was back then. And I think if Vince was still booking the shows, I believe Carlito would be in a much better spot on the show. He would definitely be the old Carlito of old, right? And I gotta say, man, I do miss the Carlito of old. Dude had a lot of charisma, had an it factor, had a lot of personality, decent athlete. He was always in that mid card, but he was always entertaining to watch, right? So it's just something that is bugging me a little bit with Carlito. He's definitely not a fit into the Judgment Day, but the only reason is so that he can, I guess, get back at Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee. I mean, originally Carlito turned on LWO because Rey replaced Carlito with Dragon Lee at WrestleMania. That's the only reason. That's the only reason why Carlito turned on the LWO. Personally, I would have liked to see Carlito just turn on the LWO, betray Rey, and then have an individual feud with Rey Mysterio or Dragon Lee, right? Instead of having Carlito just be booked like a joke and a laughing stock of the Judgment Day. Now, granted, he's funny. Like I said, he's entertaining. He can make anything work, any script. He can make it funny, right? Carlito, at the end of the day, is an entertainer. So, me personally, I would rather have just seen Carlito turn on the LWO and just feud with Rey Mysterio instead.